Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In this video, I am going to show you how we can install the Flutter framework in our system with the minimum requirements. So first of all, we need to download the Flutter SDK from the website. So we open a new browser window and then I write here flutter.dev. So when this page opens, I need to click on this get started and then I click on Windows and then Android, and then I will navigate downwards, and then I'm going to go for this tab, this download and install. I'm going to click on this tab and then I'm going to click on this button. When we click on this button, a zip file is available for download that we can download in any of our partitions at the root place. So I am downloading in my system in partition A. I click on save. So the downloading is started. So once this file is downloaded, I go to that folder where it is downloaded and I right click and I'm going to extract this file. So now these files are being extracted. So here is the folder where these files are extracted, and we can see that there is another folder with name Flutter placed in this version folder. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click, cut this folder from here, and then I'm going to place it at the root of the partition as a root directory of the partition. So this is the folder now that contains all these files, and now this one is empty, so I can delete this one. This one is now containing nothing. So this is the first step. Now the next step is that we need to configure the environment variables, and for that I go to this one and then I write edit environment variables. So I can see this edit environment variables. I'm going to click on this one and this opens this window. Now we have two options, user variables and system variables. So under user variables, I'm going to this path and I select this one and I'm going to click on edit. And after clicking on edit, I'm going to press this new button and then browse, and then I'm going to give the path of the Flutter folder here. So here it is Flutter and OK. So this variable is now added. Now I need to add another variable, new, browse, and Flutter, and then I need to navigate to this bin folder. So these two paths, a Flutter and a Flutter bin, I need to add into this path variable and click OK. Then under system variables, I will repeat the same process with this path. I click and then now we can see that these options are hidden. So how to enable these options first? To enable these options, first of all we need to close this window. I click on OK, and as a next step we need to navigate to this PC. I click on this PC, and then we have this tab open settings. I click on this one. Now sorry, not this one, I need to click on this one, system properties. So I click on this one, system properties, and in system properties I will click on this one, advanced system settings, and this will open a dialog like this, and then I click on this environment variables, and now I can see that under system variables we have these three buttons enabled. So I click on this path and I click on edit, and using the same procedure as we did before earlier. So a Flutter and new a Flutter and bin. And now these two variables are also added, and I click on OK. There's also another way of setting these environment variables. When you click on here and you write edit, so instead of clicking on this one, edit environment variables for your account, you need to select this one, edit system environment variables. So when we click on this one, then we can see that by default these buttons are enabled. But if you select the edit environment variables for your account option, then these will be disabled. These buttons will be disabled. Now the next step is that we need to download Visual Studio Code. We need an editor to write our Flutter code. So I click here, I write a download Visual Studio Code. And it is always good to download the latest version once you are starting development in Flutter. So I click on this Windows option, and now it is available for download. Let's select the desktop and save. And now this is downloading. I click on the downloaded file, and I accept the agreement. Next, and let's go with the default path. Next, create a desktop icon, and next, let's check all these options. Next, and install. So let's wait for its installation to complete. So let's finish, and this will launch the Visual Studio Code. Now once we have this Visual Studio Code installed, I go through this extensions tab, and here I'm going to search for Dart, and I click on this install. So this is installing the Dart extension, and now we can see that this Dart extension is installed. The next extension we need to look for is Flutter, and again I click on this install, and the Flutter extension is also installed. Now I need to quit, close this Visual Studio Code and reopen it. This is important so that the extensions are configured and available when we launch it next time. So I reopen this Visual Studio Code, and now let's first make a simple Dart application to test whether it is working or not. But before that, we need to have the SDK, and we have already installed that SDK. We have already unzipped that SDK, and we have already configured the system environment variable. So we are done with that part. Now we just need to start writing our code. So I click on this search and show and run commands. I click on this one, and I can see we have both options available. I click on Dart new project, and from here I select a console application. Here it is asking me where I need to place my application that I am creating for Dart language. So what I can do, I can create a folder here. This is the master folder, and in that folder my new application will be created one by one here. So I click, I've already created that folder, so I select that folder and I click on this button, and then here I need to specify the name of my application. So I can write like my dart, my first dart app. So I wrote its name as my first dart app, and I need to press the enter button of my keyboard. And now it is generating all the necessary files. And now we have this uh, notification telling us that the console application is ready, and there is some code written here showing it. I just need to run this program to see whether it is working or not. So I can click on this link, this icon, and run without debugging option. And here I can see that I'm getting the output. So this means that Dart has been successfully configured. And if I reduce this code to the minimal, what can I do is I can just remove this portion, and I can just delete this portion. I will leave the hello world here, and then I'm going to remove this portion. And let's run it again. And I can see we are getting the same output. So I mean, not same, but we are getting the output. So this means that the Dart has been successfully configured. And now we can move to the final step of creating and running a Flutter app. So for that, I need to go to this file menu, file, and close folder. This option, close folder. So this has now closed my current Dart project, and then from here I click on this one and then show and run commands, and Flutter new project. I need to select this Flutter new project, and from here I need to select the first option, a Flutter application with descriptive commands and tests. I need to select this one, and again it is asking for the path of the master folder where my Flutter projects will be placed. Let's select the same folder and click on this button, and let's select some name for it. So I can write my first Flutter app, and I need to press the enter button of my keyboard. And now let's wait for this project to build. And now our project is ready, and we can see this all the auto generated code, and we are getting this notification, your project is ready, press F5 to start running. Now we need to run this project, and for that I click on this one and I set run without debugging. So when I click on that, we have these options available that how we want to run our project, and this is create Android emulator option. But just to make the thing simple, I'm going to click on this Chrome option, and now this project is compiling and its output will be shown on the Chrome browser. And now we can see that a new Chrome tab is open, and now our application is loaded here. So this is basically we can what we are seeing here is basically our mobile screen shown as a Chrome tab. So this is application that is created, and it is a counter application. When I click on this plus button, I can see the values are increasing. So this is the simplest way of configuring and installing Flutter in your Windows system.